Todd Malacote, aka Stunt Double, and today I'm going to be talking to you about 12 different types of links and how to get them. The first concept to consider with the different types of links is that links is to SEO what snow is to Eskimos. There's many different types of links, different quality ranges, and many gradations between the types of links. Understanding the classifications for links is fundamental to understanding your backlink profile and how this will ultimately affect which search terms you will be ranking for. The different types of links can be categorized in about 12 different ways. There's certainly gradations of in between these links, but these are a good way to start identifying qualities between different link types. These link types are pre-sale page links, authority links, directory links, run-of-site links, one-way links from friends or related sites, edu and .gov links, radio station, television, magazine, newspaper, and other traditional media links, press release links, article bio links, RSS and aggregation links, comment and profile links, and finally reciprocal links. Pre-sale page links are another extremely useful and powerful tool in the search engine optimization arsenal from an off-page optimization perspective. Pre-sale pages are also extremely misunderstood and often abused to the point where they can really be of detriment to a SEO campaign. So to understand pre-sale pages correctly, the terminology originally originated from myself, Jim Boykin, and Aaron Wall. I think Aaron gets the original credit of a solution to filters that were created to remedy run-of-site links. So as mentioned in the last slide, run-of-site links used to be extremely effective. We purchased them all over the place, and they helped immensely for sites to rank. Then Google said, okay, these aren't going to work as well anymore because they've been severely abused, so we're going to take away the value of run-of-site links. We still had all these run-of-site links sitting around, so we really wanted to maximize the value of the run-of-site links. So the solution to this was those pages where we used to have 1,000 links coming from 1,000 pages on somebody else's site. We now said, okay, we're going to create an advertorial type page of content, and rather than link all 1,000 pages back to our site, we're going to link those internally to one page on their site, and we're going to call this a pre-sale page. That pre-sale page would be a page of content, and then link to maybe 5 or 10 different areas within our site from that content page. And I'll show you an example of that in the next slide here. They were also, I'll lead into that in the next slide. So this is an example of just how a pre-sale page would work. On the right-hand side, we have a blog, states, sugar, switches, switchgrass. These are all blog topics, blog categories. Diesel engines is actually our advertisement. I don't remember the exact page that this is on, but it's on a blog, so it shows up on a couple hundred pages. We want diesel engines to then link to the page that I will show on the next slide. To maximize both on-page and off, to maximize off-page factors on a page that's then going to link back to our site to get the most bang for our buck out of that advertisement. So we'll look at the next page and how this is linked to our content page that is then hosted on someone else's site. So you may hear pre-sale page, you may hear hosted content, you may hear advertorial. All of these are similar ways to say the same thing. The caveat here is based on how these are set up. If they look manipulative, the search engines are really not going to like these because they are so effective. So we'll take a look on the next slide of just what a page would actually look like. So this is an example of how to actually create the pre-sale page. So from our previous slide, diesel engines across 1,000 pages would then link to this site, or I'm sorry, to this page on someone else's site. The links within the body copy, now the diesel engines are used for backup power generators. Diesel generators are important. Link to 3 different areas on our diesel engine site. Then, below in the content or somewhere scattered throughout the content, alternative fuel sources, maybe a Wikipedia link, it may be a link to a government resource, someplace that is maybe a school or EDU link, someplace that is non-competitive but highly resourceful to the topic at hand. And what this is going to do is associate our site with the proper co-citation to these high-profile sites. We don't want to put our competitors in here because obviously we don't want people clicking through and helping out our competition or helping them out in terms of link popularity, but we don't mind helping out general resources that are good for our users as well as give us proper co-citation within our pre-sale page. So a perfect pre-sale page has a couple thousand internal links, is high in the overall information architecture of the site that you're purchasing on. You want to write decent body copy because sometimes these pages themselves end up ranking and can be used that way as a supplement to your traditional SEO campaigns. And you want to link out probably 5 to 7 times to deep areas of your site with your targeted text to deep areas of your site, not just to your home page, to deep areas of your site. You also want to link to 3 to 4 non-competitive resources, including Wikipedia, government resources, educational sources, organizations, or anything that is non-competitive but supplemental to what you're doing, to what your topic is. The first category, being authority links, is one of the more higher quality areas of link types and is fundamental to having a good backlink profile. It's very important to have these authoritative links to identify your site as highly trustworthy and ultimately worthy of those high rankings. So if I were to go out and looking for an authority link, I'd most likely start in the Google directory. The Google directory is essentially a clone of the Open Directory project. It's categorized by topic and makes it very easy to go out and find where the authority is being passed around in your industry neighborhood. The example we'll take a look at is real estate law, being a moderately competitive, fairly common industries within the web. It serves as a fairly good example. So if we were going to look for an authority link for a real estate law site, we would most likely start in the real estate category. This is located under business, and we would take a look there first to start seeing where the authority is within this community. One way to do this is to mine down from top to bottom. As we already established, it was the business law category, and this took us actually to a different category of society law services expert witnesses. Now within this community, or within this directory, we see that there's 3 or 4 sites that have substantial link popularity. You can see on the left that it shows Google PageRank, which is a metric not all that valuable in itself, but certainly with some merit in terms of overall authority. It makes a good benchmark, is the best way to put that. It's one of those catch-22 topics. PageRank certainly is not the end-all be-all, but it's a good minimum quality threshold is what I like to say. So starting in those areas that have the high PageRank is a good place to start figuring out who has the authority links and who is passing that authoritative link juice that you want to be mining for your own site. Now looking at one of the top sites within that category, we then take a look at their backlinks through a Yahoo query, link domain, that site minus site. And that will show us their top links from other sites. Ironically enough, one comes from Eskimo.com. So, going through and requesting links from places like Eskimo.com, Schmokel, if you are a real estate lawyer, is probably going to be the best place to start because you know that they're receptive to link requests. When hunting for backlinks, it's often useful to have some handy-dandy tools that are going to assist you in finding the links, running the queries, and that sort of thing. One of my favorite tools for looking for the links and running the link domain command comes from a company called Quirk.biz, and it's called the Search Status Plugin. this is an example screenshot of what the search status plugin will show you. The little curly Q in the bottom left-hand corner above the start button is the extension that it will place, and then those options are the things that it will give you. The most important piece of this is the show backward links. Rather than running link domain : the IRC.org -site, the IRC.org, and typing that all manually every time you want to run a query like this, you can just use this handy little plugin and do show backward links, domain external only, and Yahoo. The Google, MSN, and all are not all that handy. Page external only is quite handy, and domain external only are quite handy. The show index pages is another little useful tool, and highlighting no follow links is also quite useful. This tool can be used in finding authority links, or really in any type of links. Very handy tool, highly suggested for anybody that's out proactively doing link development. So the second type of links is going to be directory links. There's a lot of misinformation in regards to directory links. It used to be useful to go out and buy your PageRank, buy your links from a variety of different directories. There was time when this was helpful in the same way that there was time that reciprocal links were helpful. That time has passed, and there really isn't that much use for directories anymore. There is, however, a handful of directories that I would suggest. The Yahoo directory, absolutely for any site. It should be one of the first places you get a link. If you're not in the Yahoo directory, go get that today, because there's no good reason not to be in the Yahoo directory. It will help your Yahoo rankings. It will help with passing a little bit of link juice and authority for your Google rankings, and you should absolutely be there. With DMOZ, it's good to be there. It's absolutely nice if you can be there, but it's sometimes difficult to get in there. There's a lot of corruption that goes on with DMOZ. There's an excellent site actually called Corrupt DMOZ Editor, where the logo to the right comes from, and if you check that site, it'll give you some humorous stories and maybe even some ideas for getting into that DMOZ directory. The next one would be the best of the web directory, Old Trusted Directory, BOTW.org, and a great place to be. They're very active in the SEO conferences, great group of guys as well, and an old trusted directory. The last thing to consider with directory links is just industry-specific directories. So if you're a business-to-business company, then business.com is a great directory. Maybe Thomas Register is a good place to be. So there are specific directories that can be very, very useful, can pass link popularity, but make sure they're specific and not just general, big, broad directories. These are not going to help you. They're labeled as SEO related, where the search engines really don't want those links to pass unless they're hand edited and of very high quality. So with your directory links, really think in terms of quality and not quantity. Don't go out and register for 20 or 30 directories, and don't go mass registering at all these directories. It's going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to help you. Stay away from the directories, stay to the quality directories, and keep your quality ratio of links from directory type links as high as possible. Run-of-site links are a phenomenal tool that have been in the SEO arsenal for quite some time now, and just like any tool, they can be used to build a house, or just like a hammer to smash your fist and make you not so happy. So knowing when to use run-of-site links and using them in the right way is critical to a good SEO campaign. An example of, firstly, what a run-of-site, the definition of a run-of-site link would be me purchasing a link or asking for a link, mainly as an advertisement on someone else's site, where it appears as a text link throughout their entire site, almost to the extent of the same as their navigation. One of the more commonly known places to buy run-of-site links is the internet.com network. The example on your right is an example of those. So these links show up on tens, if not hundreds of thousands of pages with the same anchor text. So that's the example of the anchor text. This was extremely useful several years ago. This was one of the gaping holes in the Google algorithm. One of the very first things I did as an SEO in terms of experimentation was to buy a link on a joke site that had several thousand pages completely unrelated to SEO or marketing, but I bought that link that said SEO services. It was placed at the bottom of their page on 1,000 or 10,000 pages or whatever it was. It was a very high page rank, high authoritative site, and then within the next Google update, I was in the top 10 for SEO services. At the time, that was one of the gaping holes, and Google obviously did their best to sew that hole up very quickly. And the way they did that is basically instituting an over-optimization penalty of saying if too many of your links say the same thing, and you have too many links from the same site, that's not going to work well. It's going to trigger a filter. Those sites aren't going to rank as well as they can. So it can be a very good tool, but it can also be something that you can smash your own hand with and really hurt your site significantly if you're not using this tool correctly. So run sites are fantastic for anchor text, but it needs to be a balanced part of the equation. And what I mean by balance is you can't have 80% of your links coming from one site, or 80% of your links saying the same identical text. Even if you want to rank for phone systems or web hosting directory or registered domain or online booking hotels, you can't have all your links say that same thing. You need balance in your link equation, and you need to have anchor text that says similar things. So if you're trying to rank for internet marketing, you also want to say in your ad text online advertising, online marketing, internet advertising, search engine marketing. You need variations that are semantically related and balance in how people are linking to you. This is important both from not saying the same thing repeatedly and from having a variety of unique linking domains. Now, a unique linking domain is if I have 10,000 links, and all 10,000 links are coming from 10 sites, that's not nearly as valuable as 10,000 links coming from 10,000 sites, one from each site. So if I have 10,000 links from 10,000 sites, I have 10,000 unique linking domains, whereas in the first example I only have 10 linking domains. The unique linking domains can be extremely useful because when you have a high number, then you can start throwing some run-a-site links into the mix. Once you have 500 unique linking domains, you can have 3 or 4 run-a-site links that have maybe 100 or a couple thousand of the same anchor text links, and that's going to help you in terms of the anchor text, and which is kind of a different criteria, a different variable than just straight global link popularity. So it's important to keep in mind the separation between value in a link from the anchor text and value in a link from a trust global link popularity perspective. Global link popularity is going to help your overall site. Anchor text is going to help you on query specific keywords. So on the specific keywords that you want to rank for, you want that in your anchor text repeatedly, but that can also hurt you if you go overboard with it. So these are just some ideas to keep in mind with run-of-site links. Excellent tool, but don't go overboard and be very careful with how you use this tool. Nextly is links from friends. When you launch a site, this should be one of the first things that you do. Call in your favors from friends. If you're sitting at a conference, it's not so easy here as I'm giving this presentation in this regard to say the person sitting next to you. But anytime you're out networking, look at the person next to you, find out some of their sites, get their email address, and when you do launch a site, if you're related, ask them. Just ask for a simple link or trade a link across a couple sites. Trade where it makes sense and continue to network with people. People are happy to give links and really to reciprocate in different instances if you are relevant to their site. Call in those favors and get people on Instant Messenger. It's very nice to be able to just message a few people and say, hey, do you have any sites that are related to this? And I have a topic on this. Is there any place that you could link it from? Direct relationships are how you're going to get a lot of your links from friends and how you can control the anchor text, where the link is placed, and some of the really important aspects of where your link is going to show up and how it's going to help your site in terms of quality and quantity. Next is edu and .gov links. So these are among the very best links to get. They're phenomenal in terms of trust. They're very authoritative because most of these domains have been around for years and years. Many are over a decade old. Schools and government were the first people to be on the web, and these are old established sites. When the SaneBox/TrustBox, or whatever you want to use as the terminology that came along for Google's algorithm with regards to trusting higher trusted sites and placing more relevance on trust and age and those type of algorithmic filters, edu and gov links became a very big thing. So really going out and getting these trusted links is essential to your backlink profile. Now the way to go about getting edu and gov links is to really target the linkerati, for lack of a better word, in these categories. Rewarding teachers, students, and or government officials in any way that you can. Any way that you can incentivize or bait teachers, students, and government officials to link to your site is going to be helpful. Now, baiting may have a negative connotation associated with it, but essentially it's just the idea of creating content that's specifically catered to this audience, and that is going to be useful and valuable to them enough to the point that they're going to link to you, and then encouraging them to do it in a way that benefits your site as a whole. So a few caveats on edu and .gov links. When these filters came along, people started going out and trying to buy space on edu and gov links. So maybe just even to the extent of signing up to be a student because they thought it was that valuable. They would sign up as a student, get a little bit of free web space, and put their casino, porn, pills, poker, whatever links it was in high dollar spaces on these sites, thinking that it would pass a lot of trust. And for a little while it probably did, but that's been dampened because certainly that was something that was not helping the face of the web in any regard. So the caveat here is that not all edu and gov links are going to pass rank, for one, and for two, that it's going to depend probably on the age of the site. If you go out and just put new stuff up on an edu or .gov site, it's going to take a while to amortize and actually pass some rank. And then if the search engines come across something on these that's manipulative, they're much more likely to have those links not pass rank or to ban your site completely, because it's very gray area, and they don't want you wrecking the face of the web, manipulating the face of the web just to get higher rankings based on some algorithmic changes that they made that made these types of links more valuable. So when you're out searching for edu and .gov links, one great query that you can run on Yahoo is actually a site query. So doing your site, your keyword, plus site:.edu with the example query right there. What that's going to show you is that keyword from just sites that are .edu top-level domain extensions. This can be used in combination with the link command, which can be extremely useful when mining your competitors' backlinks to find their specific edu and .gov links. So you can say link domain your competitorsite.com here minus your competitorsite.com site:.edu, and that's going to show you all of the instances of edu domains linking to your competitor's site. It's also used for your site and for diagnosing the value of other links that you may purchase based on their trust. EDUs are very good examples of trust. If you see that a site has a couple hundred edu links, chances are it's very, very highly trusted and a great place to get a link from. This is the query I mentioned in the previous slide of link domain your competitorsite.com minus your competitorsite.com site:.edu. And this is going to show you all of the edu sites that are linking to your competitor site where they may be open to link requests or at least linking to sites that are similar to yours. This is a very handy query for mining those backlinks and finding some good, trusted edu and .gov links. The same principle of query applies for site:.gov as well. Traditional and media links are another type of links that are definitely worth getting. They're often overlooked when doing other traditional media campaigns such as radio, television, newspaper, and magazine advertising. When your marketing team is buying this type of advertising, sometimes a link can be thrown in the mix as a bonus to the advertising. It can be negotiated in terms of what is being spent on the advertising, and if you know the value of a link and what the value of a link on that radio station's site is going to be, in terms of more than just the direct click-through traffic, in terms of the link popularity that is then going to help your search rankings, you have a step up on the competition and really a step up on getting a better bang for your dollar from your traditional media advertising. So when you're negotiating television ads, newspaper ads, magazine ads, educate your marketing staff, your media buyers on just exactly how to buy a link and what type of link you want, what anchor text and keywords you want, because it can be extremely valuable to your long-term search engine optimization strategy. When possible, always look to get your links within the body copy. Try not to get sponsored links or links that say paid sponsor to that extent. You want editorial type links are always going to be the best type. And every magazine, newspaper, and radio station is always looking for a story. So come up with a good story, give them their story, and make sure you get the link out of it. Make sure to tell them specifically what type of link you want, or create your story and send it to them in HTML so that you embed your own links, so that you've already done the work for them of creating the links and giving the anchor text that you really want. When you're creating a bio, which I'll get into bio links a little bit later, make sure that you have that exact link text that you really want for your traditional media links. Press release links. So Jamie and Greg will probably cover this a little bit better than I, and they are certainly among the best at PR web and SEO PR. And they're going to, I'm sure at some point they will cover how to embed links in anchor text. For the time being in this presentation, I'm just going to pass over it quickly and say that you should always be embedding links in your press releases, using a little bit of anchor text where possible, and certainly putting in HTTP, www in the first few lines of the press release, because it will get scraped in a variety of places, and it's always nice to have just a couple extra links from a couple extra places that does scrape your content, even if they are on the lower end of the spectrum in terms of quality. So make sure to embed your links in anchor text and place your site name in the first few lines of your press release. The next type of link I'd like to cover is article bio links. As mentioned with traditional media links, everyone's always looking for a story. Everyone wants good, fresh content, and they're willing to place links on their site in return for you providing them with a story or fresh content. Be proactive and start dialogues with editors. They are looking for these stories, but they're not looking too hard for these stories. Good informational outlets are used to people pitching them with stories, and if you go and pitch an editor a good story, chances are you're going to get agreed to place the article. Oftentimes these are very high trusted, great sites that you can place your bio on, and you can choose your targeted anchor text. An example below is from a site called SEO Today, which I wrote for years and years ago, and is still ranking very highly on a search for my own name, and offered me excellent anchor text at the time. So you can see how I took full advantage of the anchor text, linked to multiple areas, multiple sites that were important to me, and sites that I really wanted to rank, This can be extremely valuable from a personal branding standpoint and really to a company branding standpoint. You can link to different areas of your site, different site properties, and using your targeted anchor text. If you do this on 5 or 10 different sites, start writing articles in a variety of different places that are relevant to your marketplace, it's going to be very beneficial both in terms of establishing yourself as a credible, authoritative source, as well as identifying your sites as a credible and trusted source in the search engines, and with targeted anchor text that's going to be very beneficial to your search engine rankings. It's really amazing what a handful of good articles can drive in terms of traffic and links to your site for ultimate long-term high rankings in the search engines. The next type of link is aggregation links. Now, aggregation links are pretty low in terms of quality on the link spectrum. They're probably among the easier to get though. So as you blog, pings and trackbacks, if they're not no-followed, are going to turn into links. Just by virtue of distribution, blogging can be a very beneficial way to get links, just because it can be seen, your articles can be seen in a variety of different areas. Pinging places and really promoting your blog and site in a variety of different places is a good way to pick up distribution, which leads to future links. So if you blog, make sure you're doing your pings and trackbacks to other sites that you write about and letting them know that you wrote about their site. It then opens their eyes to your site and it opens the opportunity for them to link to you in the future. There's a good list. The right-hand side actually comes from StephenMiller.com, and he has a fantastic list of lists that shows places to ping, article sites. Many of the really lower quality type links, I would certainly stay away from the free directories and use these sparingly. But if you can get some targeted anchor text in these and do them sparingly, if you have a smaller site that you're just launching, don't use these links first. These are more for sites that have been around for years, that have an established link profile, and they just need some specific anchor text. If you already have global link popularity, then you can start honing in on specific anchor text and getting the lower quality links, where they're still going to help you because of the anchor text, not necessarily because of their global link popularity, trust, authority type power. So be careful with these types of links. Use them sparingly, and don't use them if you just had to launch a brand new site. Stay away from these types of links with new sites. With established sites, they are okay. And always embed deep links when you're writing articles. If you're a blogger, always embed at least 1 or 2 links back to the older content in your articles. That way, if your entire article is scraped, at least they will link to a couple areas on your site with anchor text that you have previously chosen. Also on the list of low-end type links is comment and profile links. So it's actually a good idea just to be a part of communities in many instances within your industry, forums, blogs, news sites, any place that you can sign up for a membership. It's probably a good idea to claim your company name or your personal screen name on those places anyway. But sometimes you also get a link out of the deal. So some places will provide links that pass link popularity and signatures. Using the real estate example, this is a real estate related forum, and you can see that qualify your leads and make more sales is actually a signature that is not no-followed and probably passes a very low level of link popularity, but some link popularity nonetheless, and it does pass value in terms of anchor text. So watch out for non-indexed member pages. Make sure that if you're doing this specifically as a link building exercise, you want to make sure that they're at least passing link popularity. Watch out for no-follows. You can do this with the Firefox search status plugin mentioned earlier, and with that plugin you will see no-follows show up, similar to below where it says Find All Posts by DD Promo 1. The search status plugin will show that dotted line and highlighted in pink as no-follow. So a couple quick ideas on how to find comment and profile links is using creative queries. and this is an important concept throughout finding links, is combining queries with your keywords in order to find types of sites that hold a high likelihood that they will link to you. The example here is view profile in quotes, which is wording that's found on almost every forum to show someone's profile, plus the keywords. View profile is kind of the concatenator. Real estate is the specific keywords to whatever your industry is. So if you do view profile plus your keywords, you're likely to find forums that offer profiles that are relative to your industry, and these are places that you can obviously place some links. So the comment and profile links isn't the greatest example in the world of using creative queries, but the idea here is if you find specific types of pages that are likely to give you very good quality links, that's something you want to replicate as much as possible. Another example of this would be text links in quote minus CPM to make sure that there's no banner advertising plus your keywords. These types of queries are what's going to really turn up the good links that you can purchase or just place your ads on or place your links on for free. Coming up with creative queries is really a fundamental part of quality links. This is a secondary example of creative queries for finding blog or forums. Signature real estate forum. This is going to, again, these are words that are going to show up on just about any blog or forum that allows for signatures, which is then a place that you can check to see if it passes link popularity to then place your link in back to your site. Lastly is reciprocal links. So reciprocal links have kind of gone the way of the dinosaur. It was originally a great SEO tactic, and unlike run of site links, reciprocal links don't have a lot of redeeming value anymore. Many sites created great big directories and said, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, and sent out emails that said, hey, please link to us, we've already linked to you here, and it was at the time a good way to get links. This was overly effective, and the search engine decided, okay, if you have too many reciprocal links, that's not natural. We're not going to let you rank as well as you used to. So the caveats with reciprocal linking is don't go overboard, but don't be paranoid. It's okay to link to a peanut butter site if you have a jelly site, and for them to link back and forth. That's just natural. That's going to happen. Every site on the web has some reciprocal links, most likely. So up to a certain percentage, and this is why balance in the backlink profile is important, to understand that you can't go over 10 or 20% reciprocal linking. To that point, it's natural. You don't want to turn somebody down if they're complimentary and they give you a high quality link just because it's a reciprocal link. Best case scenario, though, is getting one-way links. So complimentary sites are best. Don't be too paranoid, and don't create a directory that's off topic to your site, or a directory even in general, even if it is on topic. Do your linking back to other sites within your content. It's going to help them more and encourage that they do the same. So this is the final rundown of the 12 types of links, just as a review, and we'll have a test here briefly for you on the next page. So a quick test. We've went through all the different types of links. Let's look at these for a moment, and you can press pause on the presentation and order these by strongest to weakest. Now this is not going to be definitive, and certainly there's some overlap in every type of category. There's probably many more types of links than just these, but this gives us a solid baseline to work with as a fundamental understanding of the different types of links and their inherent value. So take a quick pause, write these all down, and give your best guess in terms of strongest to weakest. If you got to pick which links you got, which ones you would get first. And here's the answers. Hopefully you didn't cheat and just skip to the slide, but this is probably the way that I would organize them. And any link by itself is not going to be valuable. You need a variety of different types of links. You need balance in your profile. And overall balance in your backlink profile is going to be fundamental to how well you rank. If you are overboard in any given topic, you're probably not going to rank near as well. Maybe in one of the follow-up presentations here, I'll do and perhaps if there's requests, I'll do a balancing the link profile presentation to discuss natural percentages of what's natural for as generalities for backlink profiles. So the answers: pre-sale pages are probably the strongest, most effective types of links. If you have too many of them, you're going to hurt yourself because you're going to rank too well. A manual review is going to come along, and you're probably going to get banned because they're not looked upon that greatly unless they are legitimate, unless they look really truly legitimate. So they really need to be legitimate. Run a site links are right up there on the list. Authority links, one-way links from friends and related sites, edu and gov links, radio station, traditional media links, article bio links. These are probably the top 7. These are the most effective types of links, and probably where you want to focus the majority of your efforts and time in terms of resources and really finances for the types of links that you get. Secondary types of links are going to be the important directory links and even the minor vertical directory links, press release links, RSS aggregated links, comment profile, and reciprocal links, finally rounding out the list. So the takeaways from this presentation are: understand your link types, make sure that you have the fundamental understanding of just how valuable each one is and where you should be spending your time and resources in terms of link acquisition. Be creative in finding your different types of links. Use those creative queries. Come up with your own types of creative queries, and really study ways to find better places to get links. Keep your link profile balanced. Make sure you have a variation of all the different types of links, and know the negotiation points for link purchase or solicitation. You're not going to know this without knowing the value of a link, and you'll be more qualified to negotiate once you know just how each different type of link impacts your overall backlink profile and ultimately your search engine rankings. Thank you for listening, and I'm sure you can write in or ask questions at a later time. Thank you.